Hey everybody, it's Shane, and I'm back in the Felis 747-200. Does not appear to be everybody's favorite aircraft for me to fly. I never get anybody watching these streams, but that's okay. I don't really care about that because I really want to show off this thing. Check this out. This is the Scent Pro. I featured this about a week ago. It's made by my friend Darron. He's on my Discord server. You can only get this there. It's a plugin and it's built with code and everything. This is a major improvement from the version 1 that we tried last time. He's added a lot of additional goodies to this. So basically how it works is that you can put in your waypoint here and the target altitude here, and it will calculate a top of descent to that waypoint based on your current position. And it factors in a 1,500 feet per minute descent rate from that point. Now, once you get there, if you overshoot it or undershoot it or your speed changes, it will give you a vertical speed to fly to make that crossing at that altitude, and it constantly updates with your ground speed, present position, all that stuff. And then it gives you a little VNAV target here too. So you can either follow this or follow this, and this is basically your path to follow to cross this fix at that altitude. So I'll get into a little bit more about how it works because he's got a nice write-up about it on my Discord server. But that's what we're testing tonight on this flight. I'm really excited about it because this is a big improvement from the last one that we've tried. And you can just hide it with the keyboard command and just keep it active when you're ready to use it later on. So we're going to be flying up to Hamilton, which is also an airport that he did for me, or did for us. He made a brand new Hamilton airport because this guy's amazing. Quite the flight sim gem he is. So we're going to go up there, fly into that airport, and take advantage of that new and improved scenery he's made us. So we're going to fly a localizer approach in there too, which is really fun. There's no vertical guidance, so we're going to be responsible for that on our own. I've already got the aircraft set up. I'll quickly go over the flight plan with you. So we're at Louisville, and we've got a takeoff weight of 633, landing weight of 603, 65,000 pounds of fuel on board. We got 4 deadheading passengers and 223,000 pounds of cargo. Cruise altitude will be flight level 350. I'm going to give you your departure brief as well. We're currently at ramp 9, expecting runway 17 right for departure. So we'll taxi down Charlie, cross 29, then a left on Golf, right on Bravo, Bravo 8, full length departure here. We're on the EVA 1 RNAV departure. So the instructions here for 17 right. Climb heading 170 to intercept course 185 to easy. Then on track 157 to Wody. Then on track 096 to cross EVA at or above 12,000 feet. That should be no issue for this aircraft. That's quite a ways away. Okay. So we're down to starting up the APU. RPM's rising. Turn the bleed air on for whenever it's ready. And we'll switch over to APU gens here in just a second. So what's important about this plugin is it's tailor-made for aircraft, these old aircraft like this that do not have any kind of VNAV or profile, right? Like you have nothing to give you vertical guidance at any point during the flight. So this is kind of a built-in little VNAV for your descent. Yeah, climbing is not the issue. It's knowing when to head down and how to maintain a nice, proper descent rate. This is what this is for. That's why it's important. The 742 doesn't have anything like this. Okay, APU's on. Doors and windows are closed. Hydraulic pumps are coming on. Fuel pumps are coming on. Oh, that's center wing. All right. Fuel cross-feed valves are set for takeoff. Parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Okay, wheel chocks and age.
Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks. Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power.
Okay. Beacon lights coming on. Engine bleeds. Are on.
Ground power disconnected. Shocks removed.
Thanks, man. Why are you yelling? Okay, 8 cars is running. Transponder. TARA. Push start.
Grounded cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Pretty quiet out here tonight.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Okay.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Right there.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Parking brake released.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Alright, guys. Let's go ahead and get engine starts. Sudden 1.
Starting engine 1. Starter valve open.
Okay, got rotation on 1.
N2 10%. Fuel on. Light up. Starter off.
Okay. Good start on 1. Starting 2.
Starting engine 2. Starter valve open.
Okay, rotation on 2.
N2 10%.
Fuel on.
Fuel on. Light up. Starter off.
Good start on 2. Starting 3.
Just about done
Starting
here. Go ahead and
engine
set your
3.
parking brake.
Starting engine 3. Starter valve open. Parking brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Okay, rotation on 3.
N2 10%.
Okay, fuel on 3.
Fuel on. Light up.
And we're disconnected. Stick
Starter
one pin
off.
on the right, take it easy, and have a safe flight.
Thank you. Starting 4.
Starting engine 4. Starter valve open. N2 10%. Fuel on. Light up. Starter off.
Okay, at the start checklist, engine and wing anti-ice not required. Engine bleeds are on. APU bleed is off. Pack valves open. Isolation valves open. Recirc fans will do zone 2, 3, and 4. Trim air on. Engine generators on. APU stop. And the ground signal was good. Taxi checklist. Flaps up takeoff. Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Staff trim is 4.5, but we're going to use 6.5. Actually, 6 is fine. Alright, takeoff data. V1 132, rotate 143, V2 158, and our bugs are set. Okay, takeoff thrust setting is 108. Anti-skid is armed. Body steering is armed. Okay, runway turn off lights. On. Lights are on. Flight controls. Ailerons left. Ailerons right. Elevator up. Elevator down. Rudder left. Rudder right. Okay, there's nobody here, so I'm not going to make any calls. There's no point. Let's go ahead and dim these lights and get on the road. Alright, crew, let's do it. So, taxi, right turn on Charlie, cross 29, left on Golf, right on Bravo.
Parking brake released.
Okay, nozzle steering, left, right, and brakes. Okay, taxi takeoff departure briefing, no updates. Those steering brakes are checked. Taxi checklist complete. Okay, clear on the left. Clear on the right. kind of going uphill a little bit, so keep some extra power in. Alright, we can start running the before takeoff checklist. Fuel pumps set for takeoff. Cross feed valve set for takeoff. MCP roll mode is heading. Hold it there. Clear on the right, clear on the left.
Parking brake set.
Okay, lights. Wixer. Normal. Okay, body gear steering. We'll turn that off on the runway. Clear on the right, clear on the left. TCAS is clear. Let's go ahead and take the runway
Parking
now.
brake released.
Approaching 17 right. On runway 17, right.
All right. Body gear. Disarmed. Takeoff clearance. We are clear for takeoff, and the clock is running. All right, guys, let's do it. Hey, what's up, AK?
Stabilized.
All right, set takeoff thrust. And one.
Thrust set.
Thank you.
80 knots.
Thrust hold.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Gear is up.
Okay, let's go to INS nav. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I did it again. You know what? It's twice now. I forgot to activate the flight plan. Dang it! I need to stop remember to do that. Let's go claims. All right, I know what to do here. We're gonna do this. Let's go leg, easy, leg, easy. Yeah, I'm way off course here. So what? I think what we're gonna do here is we'll go direct to the next one. That should be Wody. Let's go leg. There we go. That'll be better. Okay, flaps 5. Gotta remember to activate that. Oh yeah, let's get some speed up here. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and engage. Tell you what, I'm gonna put it back in heading mode for now. Let's fly heading 210 until I figure out what I did wrong with this navigation. So, go back to heading mode. Vertical speed, 1500, and autopilot on. Alright. Vertical speed, heading altitude select. Alright, let me figure out where I'm at, what we need to do here. At this point, it'd be better to go direct to EVA. Alright. Enter to accept. Now let's do that. And I'm going to switch over to nav. Alright, flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Yeah, so the thing with the INS, if you don't activate that first waypoint, it doesn't know where to go. And I always forget to do that. I need to put that on my checklist, because that's twice I've done that now. It flaps up.
Flaps up.
Alright, now we're getting back on course here. I'm glad ATC's not on, because they would have been asking me where the heck I'm going. Yeah, see that? Because I didn't have that first waypoint activated, it was sending me off into outer space. Now I'm going direct to EVA and I'll be okay. That's entirely pilot error there. Okay, I have to take off checklist, landing gears up. Handles off. Flaps are up, lights.
10,000.
Okay, let's go ahead and go back to vertical speed mode, and we'll drop it down to 1,000 and accelerate. Climb speed's 323. Once we capture that airspeed, we'll go ahead and go back to IAS on a vertical. Or the pitch mode. There it is. All right. What a disaster. Look at this. This is so bad. Oh, won't happen again. Alright, we're definitely back on track here. So we hit Evo, and now we're heading over to Charlie, and we're tracking just fine, so. You know, what I'm gonna do here so I don't ever do that again is I'm gonna, hey, what's up, Jesse? I'm gonna open up X checklist and I'm gonna make a correction to it right now so that I can fix that. LS C list. Alright, so before takeoff checklist, There we go. Now if I reload this, oh, there's transition altitude. 2992. If I reload this checklist, before takeoff checklist, INS, activate first waypoint. Now I won't forget to do that again. Okay, after takeoff checklist complete. Okay, climbing through flight level 200 for 350. Yes, I'm on VATSIM right now. Here, I'll show you. So I don't have any experience with the honeycomb foxtrot. So honestly, I couldn't. Oh God, I hate looking at this. I'm so embarrassed. Okay. Yeah, we're on Batson right now, and we just left Louisville on an EVA 1. We're gonna start turning northeast for Hamilton now. I don't have any experience with the honeycomb foxtrot. I only have the Alpha, which has been good. The Bravo, which has been okay, although I'm on my second one. And I'll elaborate later if you want. Yeah, I'm happy with the Alpha, and the Bravo when it works is fine. It's fine. Let's see here, INS. There we go. Okay, actually, yeah. If you can see it. Here, let me see if I can show you. I use the Thrustmaster side stick. Don't mind all the cords. It's perfectly fine. I use it when I fly Airbus. It's my primary flight control, right? And when I don't, this is my nose wheel steering, and it gives me a bunch of extra buttons. Like I use this for radio transmit. There's a lot of extra buttons on here that are handy. So this is my nose wheel steering tiller for anything other than Airbus, and when I fly the A321, this is what I use. So it's been fine for me, and it's like 60 bucks. Oh, it's such a relief when this thing actually works correctly. The LTN 92. They're like, once you get it moving, it works fine. Yeah, I only have one Airbus in my fleet right now, the A321, and I use it for that. But it's a nice extra control because there's a lot of buttons on it. So. I mean, and you get the twist rudder, which is like a tiller. Okay, so the Bravo, what have I had problems with it? If you go on my Discord, some months ago, I had a lot of pictures of me being inside of this thing quite a bit. The wiring is very, very thin, and a lot of the back and forth movement of the throttle over time makes them break internally. The wires break inside, so the coating is still intact, but the wire inside gets worn out. And I've had to go in and replace it with a friend of mine at work who's an avionics guy, aircraft avionics, so he's really good with small wire and solder. We've had to go in and basically rewire the throttle stocks because like the thrust reverser would stop working, the toga switch would stop working because of the constant going up and down. The wires are very, very thin. And if you don't have the wherewithal to know how to take this thing apart and do like wire maintenance, then it's gonna break. So that happened to me about a year in with my honeycomb, and I have my old one down there. This is a new one because I had taken it apart about 10 different times to fix wires on different stocks, and it got to the point where the potentiometers on it were not working right anymore. Like, no matter how I put it back together, something went wrong on the PCB, so that the throttle axes were not advancing and descending evenly. They were spiking. So I kind of got tired of just fixing it, so I just bought another one. So they're a little delicate. Minimize the amount of throttle movement you want to make on there, because every time you move it up and down, you're bending wires inside of there. Again, on my Discord server, I've got lots of pictures of this. Let me see if I can even find them. Looking for the pictures. So I think it was back in November when I was doing all these repairs. I'm looking, hold on. Oh man, where is it? I'm getting tired of looking. I posted these pictures about 6 months ago, but I can't seem to find them now. Whatever. Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? I think I need to, I've been talking too much. I need to slow down here. Yeah, we're getting a little fast here. I'm gonna go vertical speed mode. Thousand feet a minute. Let's get the airspeed under control. We'll go back to Mach hold here. Yeah, well, that's the risk you take with the honeycomb. With the honeycomb Bravo is it's very delicate. I can fix them for you. If you want to ship me the parts, I can do the repairs. I'll do it for free if you pay for the shipping, but I'll find you the pictures of all the pictures I took of being inside that thing. All right, here we go. I was so busy looking at my thing, I wasn't paying attention to me flying here. How we looking? We're looking good on that. Airspeed's under control. 2,000 to the top of the climb. Yeah, and we did not obviously cut the corner. That's just Navigraph doing that. There we go.
$1,000 to level off.
Okay, we're going to go into Mach hold on the auto throttle. Yeah, probably. Yep. Okay, we're going to be leveling off here. Now, the auto throttle is a little slow in pulling the power back sometimes, so we're going to have a little bit of a speed excursion here. Oh, me too, Kevin. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I think I've kind of mastered it, with the exception of occasionally forgetting to activate my first waypoint on the darn LTN. But you know, let's go ahead and tune this guy. Get a little update going. All right, let's go ahead and go. Tell you what. Yeah, if we got Mach hold on, that'll be fun. Okay, so we're cruising, guys. So let me go just check on my kids, make sure they're in bed, and I'll come back and we'll talk more about the reason that we're flying tonight, the Descent Pro. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay. Yeah, so I got the LTN mastered really good. And one of the most important things you need to remember with the LTN, Kevin, and if you already know this, don't mean to insult your intelligence, but if you go over here and click a status and go to EXP, you need to make sure that RNAV and TMIX are enabled on all three of your units. So right now when it says disable, it means that they're actually enabled. So if it says enable, that means it's off. So you need to make sure you turn on RNAV and TMIX on all three of these things. So what RNAV does, again, I don't mean to insult your intelligence. If you already know this, I'm sorry. But what this does is it allows VORs and the DME to update your position to increase your accuracy on this. And TMIX allows all three of these things to talk to each other to keep them all synced up together. So you need to make sure you have these on, and you make sure that you're checking your every 40 or 50 miles or so. No, I want to be on lake. You need to go in here to your DME list when you're within range, and find waypoint VORs that have DME, and tune your nav radios to these, right? And when you do that, you'll see these little lights come on, which means updating, which means it's updating its location based on these new VORs and the DME you're getting to them. If you don't do this every now and then, your LTNs will get really out of whack, and you're gonna start drifting a lot. But if you have RNAV and TMIX enabled and you're constantly updating your VORs, it'll stay reasonably accurate. Alright. I like it on real. Makes me feel like I'm flying it with the natural drift that these things are gonna have. So about this descent probe, let me show you what Darron has been saying about it here. So this software that we're using right now, this is the latest and greatest on it here. Oh yeah, he fixed some memory leaks in the logic to find all the fixes, airports, VORs, NDBs within the current AirAC and explain internal APD file. The plugin will load all that information on launch and store it into cache. Users can now search all they want without an endless need for looping every frame for that information. He's made changes to the math, specifically how sensitive the diamond will be from afar of target and becoming more sensitive to the closer you approach target. Math was changed from a simple line of sight on distance to reflect Earth's curvatures. If the distance doesn't exactly match your LTN, good, it's working. Your flight plan is not a direct fix to that fix until you're on direct to it. Only then will the distance be exact. Remap the close window function to properly kill the draw function, so change your key maps. Alright, for now, calculator is still set for 1500 feet per minute calculations, but I'm seriously considering making it a true functioning VNAV, meaning I'll ditch the 1500 feet per minute math and make this a true 3-degree path to target. Alright, so that's what this thing does. So here's what we're going to do now. Let's see, how far do we got to go? Let's take a look at our arrival here. Oh, look at that. We got ATC. Great. Now we get to deal with Toronto. 125.775. I'll get that tuned in for later. 125. All right. So, for example, here's what I'm talking about. We're going to be on the Tickum 3 arrival. So we need to cross. So basically, the only crossing restriction we really have is to cross Novum at 4,000 feet, 210 knots. Right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click waypoint. With my keyboard, I'm going to backspace this to type in Novum. Okay. Now for altitude, I'm going to go in here and delete it and put it to 4,000 feet. So now we have 197 nautical miles to go. Okay. And when this number and this number are lined up, that should be when we're supposed to start our descent. And then this will tell you the amount of vertical speed that you need to maintain a glide path to get you down to that fix at that altitude. So this is going to vary a bit, right? We'll see if this math adds up here. It does seem quite a ways out to be descending, right? So we'll see how it works. Yeah, I usually calculate it manually. Like the 3-to-1 rule is usually suffices, right? So for every 1,000 feet of altitude you need to lose, you need 3 track miles to do it. But this gets you a little more precise. Alright, well, this is telling us that we're supposed to be descending now, which seems a bit far out, but remember, we have to get down to 4,000 feet, and we need to start slowing down. This is taken into consideration. We got to slow down 250 knots, and you know what I'm saying? So basically, when this thing gets here, we're going to start down. And I'm going to switch the auto throttle to speed mode for now. And there it is. Now we're going to go to vertical speed, and we'll dial in the vertical speed we need to keep that thing centered. And we need to reset our altitude, obviously. That's the other thing you're supposed to do. So I'm going to set that to 4,000 feet because that's our next cross. Alright, altitude select. I don't know. I don't know anything about them because they're for X-Plane 11, and I don't have X-Plane 11. I don't think they work in X-Plane 12, or they're just a port, so I have no idea. Since you mentioned it, though, I'm actually working on a freeware 727. I'll show it to you in just a second. Let me make sure I get this right. Let's do speed 300. Okay. Shallow it up a little bit. Check this out. I'm on a team making a freeware 727 right now. These are some of the things that we're working on here. I'm doing a flight model for it. Pretty cool, huh? Look at that flight engineer panel we're working on. So this will be a modern X-Plane 12 727. Since the Flight J sim will never be updated again. I don't think that guy's coming back. It's free. I don't want your money. It's a freeware. Our team is doing it pro bono. Alright, let's go over some landing data here. Let's grab the weather. So far, so good. It looks like we're a little bit off the glide path here, so I'm going to shallow this up a little bit more. So we're below it. So we need to get that thing back into here. If I'm reading this correctly. There we go. Yep. So we'll keep the shallow descent rate until this thing drops down back to here. Hey, what's up, Mikey? I appreciate you stopping by, man. I wish you could stay here for the landing. But I get that. I'm going to bed right after I land this thing. I want to test something out. I'm going to shallow this up a little bit more because I'm trying to get this diamond back to here. There it goes. It's coming in now. It's starting to move. Oh, Italy. That's cool. I'm going to be in Croatia in July. That's not too far from Italy, right? And I was just in the UK 2 weeks ago. Alright, I'm going to start putting in some more vertical speed to keep that diamond centered there. That beep means you're dead on. Okay. Shallow it up. I don't think this thing's working the way I think it should. Yeah, I'm gonna tell Darren I don't think that this this is working right. That's okay. You know what? It's just work in progress. It'll get better over time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop watching this, and I'm just going to read this and use this. And I'll let them know, like, hey, I think we need to look at the math on this diamond, and it's not quite correlating to this vertical speed. As far as I can tell. But that's okay. He's hand coding this, so unless I'm doing something wrong. Alright. Okay, so we're direct to Goose now, 76 miles away. Yeah, so the math on this and this are not really working, that I can tell. That's, again, can be fixed. What I'm looking at right now is basically right here. Yeah, for sure. But because it's coded by hand and a lot of math is kind of done by hand, there may need to be some adjustments to how it calculates some stuff. I'm kind of testing it out right now for him, and I'll give him the feedback like, hey, the diamond isn't really working the way I think it should. Like, it's not like I would think that it should correlate to this and this, right? Like if I'm flying this vertical speed, this thing should be right here, and I've got 1,300 feet per minute in, and we're, according to this, way below the glide path. So my brain isn't really factoring this in. All right, we got to go over some landing information here. Let's grab the weather for Hamilton. The wind is 210 at 6. Okay, altimeter 2987. U-cloud's 10,000 feet. Temperature's 11. Really good weather going in there. We're going to be landing on runway 30. Alright, so let's run some numbers. Performance calculations for landing. Our estimated landing weight is going to be 603. CYHM 30. Guess auto brakes max it is. Okay. And we'll set the speed bugs. Final approach speed will be 156. Okay, speed bugs are set. You know what? I think this is gonna work out. Alright, I'm gonna shallow this up a little bit because we got 88 miles to go, and we're still at 20,000 feet. So I think this will be all right. And remember, we still got to decelerate here at some point as we get close to 10,000 feet. We're gonna have to shallow it up, slow it down, and then continue down again. So this looking like it's gonna work. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting in the 2987 here. 2987. So we've reviewed the landing data, the arrival we've checked, decision height. Alright, so let's go over the approach. This is the localizer runway 30 approach. A little dive and drive action here. So when we cross Delva, we need to be at 2,800 feet. And at UGSO, that'll be 2630. And that's DME 7 from YHX. Alright, so I'll put Hamilton on VOR2, and we'll put the localizer obviously on VHF1 or NAV1. And then we'll reach our minimum descent altitude, which is 1,100 feet or 329 radar altimeter, approximately 5.7 miles away from runway 30. MSA is 3,100 feet. Okay. In the event of misapproach, climb at 3,000, heading 297, expect vectors. Okay. Seatbelt signs and reserve fuel tanks. Let's go ahead and empty those now. And altimeters are cross-checked. One 25775. I'll go ahead and tune that in now.
Canada's 697 to 4,000. 4,000, 690.
Toronto Center, Rouge 325, information uniform, PDC identifier 460 Romeo, ready for taxi.
Rouge 325, thanks, that's correct. Runway 2, the altimeter 2985, taxi Alpha Hotel.
Alpha Hotel, runway 23, 2985, Rouge 325.
Toronto Center, good evening. UPS 7033 Heavy. With you descending 14,000.
UPS P33 Toronto, hello. Hamilton altimeter, I don't have data up for you there, unfortunately, but the Hamilton altimeter is just loading, so I'll call you back with that. Do you have an approach request there?
Yeah, we'll take the VOR or localizer runway 30 approach.
Okay, roger, play that.
Center, Airport 8073.
France 8073, yeah, looks like you made a wrong turn. Okay, so make a left onto runway 23, and then the left again on Bravo, and you can rejoin that to taxi.
Acknowledge, yeah, I missed Bravo and Alpha. I'll put the heads up.
UPS 7033, when you're ready, clear direct to Ketbu. That's the initial fix for the localizer runway 30.
Okay, clear direct Ketbu. UPS 7033.
UPS 7033, the altimeter there 2987, and when you're ready to send to 3000.
Okay, down to 3,000 and direct Ketbu 7033. Okay, direct Ketbu and down to 3,000. So let's change this fix to Ketbu. And we'll put the target altitude to 3,000 now. Okay, let's get the lights on. Okay, first checklist complete. Alright, so these VOR localizer approaches are interesting. I don't fly them very often, so you'll have to forgive me if I screw this up a bit. So YHX. I'm going to tune that on nav 2. So we got DME to the airport right here. And then we're going to put in the localizer frequency for runway 30. That's going to be 110.9. And the approach course is going to be 297. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and level off and set the speed to 245. Or 240. I'm going to go ahead and take off some vertical speed here to decelerate us.
Canada's 697 at the ILS 2 left approach to send on the glide.
Via Milo, cleared the ILS runway 24 left approach. Air Canada 697.
Okay, airspeed's coming down.
Plane?
10,000.
Check.
Toronto Center, Route 325, we're ready for immediate departure, runway 23.
Little fast coming to
325, the winds are
10,000.
230 at 7, clear
That's
for
okay.
takeoff, runway 23.
Clear for takeoff, 23, Canada, or Route 325.
Alright, let's try this again. Toronto Center, good morning. WestJet 135, information uniform IFR to Minneapolis, please.
Jet 135, you're going to hate this, but you're going to have to try again one more time. You don't have a flight plan filed.
Alright, let's try again. WestJet 135.
Okay, we'll go ahead and put some more vertical speed in here. Looks like we need about 1,200 feet per
third
minute.
time's the charm. First didn't have the hiatus. Second didn't have a flight plan. WestJet 135, IFR to Minneapolis, please.
Hope you know how to fly plane at least. WestJet 135, you're clear to Minneapolis. Ursula 4 departure on KSED, runway 23, squawk 0214.
Alright, clear to Minneapolis via Ursula 4 departure, KSED for runway 23, squawk 0214, WestJet 135. I sure do hope so.
Jet 135 thinks it's all correct. You can call me short of Alpha Tango for taxi.
Alright, we'll call you short of Alpha Tango for taxi, WestJet 135.
All right, so one thing to remember for this localizer approach, again, there's no vertical guidance at all. So we're gonna have to manually control our descent.
Toronto Canada 858. Go ahead.
We'd like to return to Toronto, but we got to dump some fuel, so if you wouldn't mind just putting us somewhere to do that.
Air Canada's 858. Okay. For now, fly heading at 360, and when you're ready, you can descend to 1000. And what's the nature of the return?
Okay, 360, and we can descend 1000 now, Air Canada 858, and let us know when we're okay to start dumping fuel.
Oh.
Canada's 58, Roger.
Toronto Center, Route 325, passing 2,100.
Route 325, you're identified. Climb flight level 360.
I think that's the airport over there.
Route 325.
Air Canada's 858. When you're able, clear direct to India Mike Echo Bravo Alpha.
Okay, direct Amoeba, we can take that now, Air Canada 858.
Okay, we're direct Kedbu. I'm gonna go ahead and start slowing down to 210 knots.
WestJet 816 is ready for taxi.
Jet 816 from 23, 295, taxi Alpha Hotel, hold short of 23.
Taxi Alpha Hotel, hold short of 23 for WestJet 816.
Rouge 325, clear direct to ABSEP on course.
Direct ABSEP, Route 325.
UPS 7033 because I know when I cleared ILS, or correction, cleared localizer runway 30 approach by Kedru.
Okay, cleared localizer runway 30 approach, UPS 7033 heavy. Sweet. Alright, hope I don't bugger up this VOR localizer approach, man.
Air Canada 58, I'll get you to start dumping over Amoeba. If you want to, you can load the arrival, you can load the Amoeba 9 for 24 left, and you can run the published hold from there if that works.
Okay, we'll expect the Amoeba 9 for 24 left, and we'll dump fuel over Amoeba. Any preference on how you want us to hold?
Air Canada 858, if it works, you can join the arrival at Amoeba. You can hold as published at Amoeba, and you can just advise when you're ready for...
Okay, we'll hold it. You know what? I don't have the charts on me. What? Can you give me an inbound course?
Yeah, no problem. The inbound course is 249.
Okay, let's continue on 2,800 feet.
Okay, 249.
Oh, flaps one.
You got it, Air Canada 858.
Flaps 1.
Well, I just never fly these types of approaches. I'm used to having some, like a glide slope or RNAV on a more modern aircraft, so I have to just carefully manage the vertical speed and the descent rate myself. Okay, speed's coming down nice. Okay, we're 2,000 to go. So I would say that the Descent Pro has been working good for us, right? We're 9 miles away from Kedbu. And we got 2,000 to go. This is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and close this now. I don't think I need it anymore, but it got us where we needed to go, which is great. All right, let's go flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
There's Hamilton coming up here pretty quick, soon. All right, we can go ahead and slow down to 190.
Canada's 697. The winds are 237. You're clear to land 24 left.
Clear land 24 left, or Canada 697.
16, the wind's 230 at 7. Clear takeoff, runway 23.
1,000 to level off.
Clear
Check.
takeoff 23, WestJet 816.
All right, and then I think the heading will be 030 at Kedbu. Check. So I'll put that in, and then I'll start dialing in the localizer intercept course here. Okay, altitude select. I'm gonna go heading select now. And we're gonna fly heading 030. Let's go flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
That trim is going nuts. Hey, there's a runway over there. Alright, I'm gonna go gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 20, speed 170.
20.
Roger.
And now I'm gonna go ahead and dial in my ILS intercept course, so let's go make it 270.
Gears down. Green light.
And I'm gonna go ahead and turn my HSI to radio. Spoilers armed. We're on heading select, right?
7033, the Hamilton winds are 200 at 7. You're clear to land runway 30.
Clear land 30. UPS 7033. You know what? I don't know how to add. I need a 330 heading to intercept. What the heck am I doing? All right.
Air Canada 858 request 240 knots in the hold.
Sorry, guys.
Canada
I don't know how to add.
approved.
I need 330, not 270. And that'll be better. Okay, I see the runway anyway. Golly, see, I told you guys I'm not good at these. Okay. Switch to localizer.
Localizer.
16, you're identified on departure. Climb foot level 310, clear direct to Saver.
310, direct to Saver, WestJet 816.
Okay, let's go. Flaps 30. Final approach speed 157.
Flaps 30.
Okay, landing gears down, spoilers arm, auto brakes max. Let's go medium. Flaps 30. altimeter's cross-check, Mr. Approach altitude set in just a moment here. Okay. Autopilot's coming off.
858 entering the hold at Amoeba.
Canada 858, Roger.
Okay, I had the Pappies in sight. Mr. Approach altitude is going to be 3,000, and the heading will be 297. Okay, auto throttle coming off. Okay, a little bit high, correcting. Okay, way high, correcting. Still very high. I might have to go around here. Let me see if I can get it.
1,000.
Canada 697, right, Delta 8, cross runway 24 right.
Delta 8 cross 24 right, Air Canada 697.
Approaching 30.
Okay, got the Pappies coming back in.
500. Approaching minimums.
Continue.
Canada 697, Delta Alpha to the cross 33 right, can I?
Delta Alpha, the gates cross 33 right, Air Canada 697.
$50, 40, 30, 20.
Little float.
10.
Check reverse.
Little bounce. Ooh, bouncy. Yeah, not my best landing here.
Auto brake off.
UPS 7033, welcome. You can backtrack 0.30 and make the right on Charlie.
1,000
Hey, backtrack
feet
30,
remaining.
right on Charlie, UPS 7033.
Parking brake set.
Oh, what?
Parking brake released.
Set the parking brake. Wow. Yeah, not my best work, guys. Totally agree with that. I should have gone around. Okay, body steering. This is my first time landing the 747 here at Hamilton, so I'll need to work on that.
On runway 12.
Yeah, that was not pretty. Fully admit it. But I don't think I bent any metal, and we got a nice long runway to eat that up with. Okay, after landing checklist, speed brakes, flaps.
Flaps up.
And auto brakes off. Wixer off. We'll keep the lights on until we get off the runway. In the meantime, I'll start this APU. Well, that was a long float. We'll go over the landing information here in a minute. This would be not a good landing, guys. I would not consider this a good landing at all.
5,000 feet remaining.
Okay, here's Charlie. I'm on the brakes. Look at this beautiful scenery that Darron made for us.
UPS 70, you can take Charlie all the way down and cross runway 06. You have a good night.
Okay, Charlie all the way down, cross 06. Cross Charlie all the way down, cross 06, UPS 7033. Thanks.
Great.
Okay, let's get some lights off here. APU, okay. Hold. Body gear steering is armed, of course. Staff trim coming down. APU's running.
Approaching 6.
Okay, we're clear left and right.
And Toronto Air Canada 858, expect to be in the hold for 16 minutes.
Air Canada 858, roger, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, after landing checklist complete. What a beautiful scenery.
Air Canada 858, are you declaring an emergency for the return, or what's the reason for the diversion?
We'll call it operational requirement.
Roger.
Mom said he had to go to bed. Alright, we're going to be parking straight ahead up here. Marshal are in sight.
Parking brake set.
Hey, parking checklist. Responder. APU. Alright, fuel switches. Hey, parking. Let's see. Trim air, PEC valves. Engine bleeds. APU bleed is on. Window heat. Probe heat. Hydraulics. Beacon light. Anti-ice is off. INS is off. Okay, lights, wheel chocks.
Cockpit to ground. Put the chocks on. Cockpit to ground. Connect ground power.
Okay, body gear steering is off.
Shocks are on.
Parking brake released.
Ground power connected.
Okay, and APU. Stop.
And Toronto, WestJet 35 is on the apron, short of Alpha Tango for 2-3, please.
All right, let's look at this god-awful landing and approach that I did. And then I got some quick feedback for you, Darren, if you're still here, about the descent thingy. Let's see here. Stable approach. It was definitely not. So this was a garbage approach. I should have gone around, but I need to go to bed. Way too high over the threshold. Speeds were good. 3,000 feet down the runway with a bounce, and then the second touchdown was at 4,000 feet. I don't know if I had the wrong approach speed in or what, but the aircraft felt like it was... What is our weight? Oh, no. No, it just felt like it was just, it just felt like we were really nose down the whole time. I don't know. But yeah, this was a crappy approach. We're too high, landed way long. But the thing is, it's a nice long runway, and we had to go all the way to the bottom of it to do a backtrack anyway. So it's not the end of the world, but this did not meet the approach criteria that I would typically expect for myself, and I should have gone around. If I had more time, if it was an hour earlier tonight, I would have gone around and tried it again. But I would say this worked well. Darren, I'm glad you're watching. I just was struggling with the correlation between this and this. They didn't seem to match up. So if I'm flying the correct vertical speed here, I would think that this would be here, and it never really was. I couldn't really catch it again. Also, I feel like... So I did what you told me to do, where it says start descending when these two numbers match, but it was 170 miles out, and I felt like it was way too soon to be descending. And it was a very, very, very shallow descent the whole way down, like between 1,000 and 1,500 feet per minute. I think I would have preferred to have been a bit steeper coming in. But, I mean, it worked. It got us... we did get to our final crossing correctly. It just feel like it was a little too conservative about when it needed me to descend. And the diamond here and this vertical speed there just didn't really seem to talk to each other, as far as I could tell. Unless I'm doing it wrong, it just wasn't... my brain wasn't correlating it. Like, if I'm flying the correct vertical speed to fix, that diamond should be dead on, and it never really was. But, again, I could be wrong. Either way, I really like it. I love the look of it. It looks very nice. Zero performance impact at all to the game. So, I mean, you're definitely on the right track with it. And I'm going to keep using it. And if you keep improving it, I'll keep displaying it until you have it to where you think it's the best that you'll ever want it to be. Appreciate everybody being here. I'm sorry for that terrible approach and landing. My only excuse is that I've never flown this aircraft into this airport, so I'm not quite used to it. Oh, that'll be great, Darren. I love it. You keep doing what you're doing. I love the look of it, man. Like, this is a very professional looking presentation here. And it works. It just works. So there's no bugs with it. What I'm saying is it doesn't cause any performance issues. It's not crashing the sim. It's a work in progress, but you're doing a great job with it, and I love what you're doing. And this airport, I mean, golly, I'm so impressed with this. What am I getting for 3%? What am I getting for? Yeah, decent FPS for nighttime on a 4K. So. So, Darren, the only thing I wanted to mention about the scenery, and I just want to way in and out of here. So, I took an MD-11 out of spot 2-4 a couple weeks ago, and my wingtip, when I got pushed out of here, was so close to hitting this building. It may be worthwhile to reevaluate the placement of this particular building to make sure that it's correct, or just remove it entirely, because it's super... you can't really access these two spots without your wingtip. Like, if I was a wing walk in that jet... coming in there, I'd be like sweating bullets, dude. I'd be like, my whistle in my mouth and my hand trembling with the wand because it's that close. With anything bigger than, a 757, it's tight. You know what I'm talking about. You're ground. You do ground handling. I've wing walked a lot of jets and I've been danger close to buildings with the wingtips, and I don't like the way it feels. And that's what this building gives me, the heebie-jeebies when I'm trying to push out of here and go in. But other than that, I love it. I don't think you need to do anything else to this. It's beautiful. It's just, I never knew Hamilton was so cool. Like, this is absolutely one of my favorite airports to land at because of what you did here. And it's our hub, which makes it even better. So thanks again. I'm going to bed. Darron, you're a steely-eyed missile man. Keep it up, man. I love your work. I'm a big fan. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.